Attention all cars. The Richview Community Bank's been robbed of $100,000. Investigation team proceed at once to 2nd and Main.
Wow, did you hear that?
A bank robbery? Didn't we just hear a news story on 4 convicts that escaped here in Richview?
That's right. They jumped from the bus that was taking them to the state prison while it was stopped downtown. I bet one of them robbed the bank.
Attention all cars. Escaped criminals have been captured outside Swank's hotel, but the $100,000 hasn't been recovered.
Wow, they caught the criminals, but the money is still missing. Let's get down to the police station and see if we can help. Police Chief Barnes said we could see the police files on the 4 criminals. Let's see what we can dig up.
Thanks for your help, kids. I'm sure it was one of the 4 escaped criminals who robbed the bank. We have all 4 downstairs in the city jail. Once we identify the criminal, he'll tell us where he hid the money. He knows that the judge will give him a shorter jail sentence if he gives back the stolen cash. We interviewed Mr. Green and Mr. Washington at the scene of the crime, but they weren't able to identify the robber. Any information you can dig up will help.
Swank's hotel is really fancy. The radio report said they caught the escaped criminals just outside.
Criminals at Swank's? The nerve! Some of them were caught just outside, but the police actually caught one of them here, inside the restaurant. We'd served him a complete luncheon. A criminal! Here in Swank's for over an hour. Oh, I can't bear it. At least he was a very polite fellow.
Look, the welcome sign looks backwards in the mirror. Everything about it is reversed in the reflection. The bank is almost empty. We were lucky it was Sergeant Nails at the door, because he knows us so well and let us in. He said we can't stay long, though, so let's hurry.
The hold-up took place just after 1 p.m., when most of my tellers were out at lunch after the noontime rush. I was just reviewing the bad checks when I heard a shot. The next thing I knew, a man in a mask was telling me to fill his bag with money. I could see his eyes through the mask, though. They were bright blue. When I hesitated, he lifted his arms straight to one side and shot towards the wall. After that, well, I just poured the cash into his bag.
Mr. Washington was one of the witnesses to the holdup. Let's see if he can tell us anything about the bank robber.
I was filling out a deposit slip at the counter with my back turned to the tellers when I heard a gunshot. I looked up, and I could see the thief's back quite clearly in the mirror. His mask covered his hair, but I saw that he was a big guy, built like a football player. Then he shouted, "Everybody down!" So I dived down under the countertop. He had a gun in his right hand and shot a hole in the wall when Mr. Green didn't hurry with the money. I have to admit, I was afraid someone was going to get hurt.
I heard the gunshots just after Mr. Washington went across the street to the bank. I ran to the window right away and saw a tall man with a mask over his head and a big black bag run out of the building. He jumped into a green car that was parked at the curb outside the bank. He didn't take his mask off, so I never really saw his face. He was in a hurry to get away. I heard the tires squealing as he drove off.
Let's show Chief Barnes that we really know the score. Pick the 4 clues that will best help the police find the real robber. Those are the clues we need to let the police know about. Now choose the convict you suspect of being the gunman. You figured it out. Lefty Poltroon was the gunman at the bank. Let's check the evidence. Mr. Green told us that the bank robber had blue eyes. Nicole Hamble told us that the man she saw running from the bank was tall. Mr. Washington told us the robber was a big man built like a football player. He also said that he thought the man had a gun in his right hand, but he had seen the robbery in the bank's mirror. When we looked in the mirror at Swank's hotel, the writing on the convention welcome sign was backwards. Mirrors show images in reverse. Mr. Washington saw a reverse image of the gunman in the mirror, so he thought that the gun was in his right hand when it was really in the robber's left hand. That's why the bullet hole was in the wall to the left of the tellers. Lefty Poltroon is the only suspect who is left-handed. The police file said that Lefty Poltroon had blue eyes, was tall at 6 foot 2 inches, and was once a heavyweight boxer. He matches the description of the gunman in every way. He's the bank robber.